Say bye to preservatives. Did you know that more than 60% of the American diet consists of highly processed foods, which are foods that have been taken apart and put back together again with various combinations of sugar, salt, oil, and additives? Processed foods are really bad. They are a major contribution to obesity and illness around the world. Today I'm going to tell you how processed foods have become the major problem, a solution to help resolve some of this problem, and the benefits that could come from it. A major problem in America today is the overconsumption of processed foods. The overconsumption can lead to obesity and many health problems. Here are 9 ways that processed foods are bad for your health. Number 1 is high in sugar and high in fructose corn syrup. Processed foods are usually loaded with added sugars or its evil twin, high glucose corn syrup. It is well known that sugar, when consumed in excess, is seriously harmful. Many studies show that sugar can have devastating effects on metabolism that go way beyond its calorie content. It can lead to insulin resistance, high triglycerides, increased levels of harmful cholesterol, and increased fat accumulation in the liver and abdominal cavity. Not surprisingly, sugar consumption is strongly associated with some of the world's leading killers, including heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and cancer. Number 2 is engineered for overconsumption. Our appetite gravitates towards foods that are sweet, salty, and fatty because we know such foods contain energy and nutrients we need for survival. Food manufacturers spend massive amounts of resources on making the foods as rewarding as possible to the brain, which leads to overconsumption. Number 3 is contain artificial ingredients. If you look at the ingredients label for a processed packaged food, chances are that you won't have a clue of some of the ingredients are. That's because many of the ingredients in this aren't actual food. They are artificial chemicals that are added for various purposes. Highly processed foods often contain preservative, which are chemicals that prevent the food from rotting, colorants, which are colors given to give specific color, flavor, which give particular flavor, and then textures that give texture. Keep in mind that processed foods can contain dozens of additional chemicals that are not even listed on the label. Number 4 is people can become addicted to junk food. The hyper-rewarding nature of processed foods can have serious consequences for some people. Some people can literally become addicted to this, just like drugs, and completely lose control through overconsumption. For many people, junk foods can hijack the biochemistry of the brain, leading to a downright addiction and cause them to lose control. Number 5 is often high in refined carbohydrates. One of the main problems is that refined, simple carbohydrates are quickly broken down in the digestive tract, leading to rapid spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels. This can lead to carb craving a few hours later when blood sugar levels go down again. This phenomenon is often called the blood sugar roller coaster, which many people who have been on a high carb diet can relate to. Not surprisingly, eating a lot of refined carbohydrates is associated with negative health effects in many chronic diseases. Number 6 is low in nutrients. Processed foods are extremely low in essential nutrients compared to a whole unprocessed food. There are many nutrients found in whole foods that are not found in processed foods. The more processed foods you eat, the less you will get of these nutrients. Number 7 is low in fiber. Fiber, especially soluble, fermentable fiber, has various benefits. Soluble, fermentable fiber has various important health benefits, but most processed foods are very low in fiber, which is because it is lost or intentionally removed during this process. Number 8 is require less time and energy to digest. Food manufacturers want their processed food products to have a long shelf life. They also want each batch of the product to have similar consistency, and they want their foods to be easily consumed. Given the way foods are processed, they are often easy to chew and swallow. Sometimes it's almost as if they melt in your mouth. We only burn half as many calories digesting and metabolizing processed foods compared to whole foods. Last but not least, number 9, often high in trans fats. Processed foods are often high in unhealthy fats. They usually contain cheap fats, refined seed, and vegetable oil, which is like soybean oil. They're often hydrogenated, which turns them into trans fats. Vegetable oils are extremely unhealthy, and most people are eating way too much of them already. These fats contain excessive amounts of omega-6 fatty acids, which can drive oxidation and inflammation in the body. Several studies show that when people eat more of these oils, they have significantly increased risk of heart disease, which is the most common cause of death in Western countries today. This are the 9 ways processed foods are bad for your body. The solution is next. Next, I'm going to talk about a solution to help with cutting back and limiting eating processed foods. One way to stay away from processed foods is to grow your own food at home. Although not ideal for everyone, homegrown food saves money and helps stray from added preservatives. The best part about homegrown food and vegetables is you know that there are no added preservatives and exactly what you're getting. Another helpful way to have a healthier lifestyle is by straying away from preservatives and limiting fast food and drive-thrus. Fast food is very unhealthy and mostly contains preservatives and a lot of grease. Try to lean towards healthier options if you eat fast food, like salads and wraps. The best way to cut back is to start slowly taking small steps, which can lead to a big impact. Supplement your meals with fresh fruits, lower sugar beverages and drink more water, and stop adding salts. Choose whole grains, limit frozen foods, and don't let advertising fool you. These are some of the many ways you can cut back and avoid processed, unhealthy foods. Next is the benefits. Cutting back on these foods can also have many benefits. A major benefit is health. Eating processed foods can cause shorter lifespan, heart disease, cancer, and many other life-threatening issues. By cutting back, you can increase health and lower these chances. Not only is it better for your health, it also saves money. Because growing your own foods, you don't have to go shopping as much. It's also helpful during pandemics like the one we're in currently, because you have fresh food to eat and you don't have to worry about going to the store as much and risking your health. So in conclusion, I ask the question, how many of you want to live to be 58 or older? If your answer is yes, then I suggest you take a long, hard look at the facts that I've given about how processed foods have become a major problem, the solutions given to help resolve this problem, and the benefits that could come from it. Thank you.